But we do have some breaking news, and it didn't actually happen in Thailand, but it will involve a lot of Thai people. And I thought I should just bring you up to date with what we know. Firstly, it's been covered in quite a lot of international media already. You can read it in The Guardian and a lot of other. Yeah, I'm just checking here. Yeah, a lot of international coverage. The Bangkok Post also has some coverage. So I'll just read you just what we know at the moment. And at the moment, they're saying that 2 Thai nationals have been identified as having died in the Jeju Air crash. So this is a plane that flew from Bangkok to South Korea, and it had 175 passengers. And they're saying that 2 Thai nationals were among the 175 passengers, as well as 6 crew members. Now, given that it left from Bangkok, and given the popularity of South Korea as a destination for Thais, I'd be very surprised if there weren't probably a lot more Thais on the plane and perhaps deceased as a result of this crash. It says the airliner crashed Sunday at South Korea's Muan International Airport, according to the South Korean Transport Ministry. At least 28 people have been confirmed as dead when the airliner went off the runway and slammed into a wall at the Muan International Airport. Now, there is video, and I'm sure that'll be shown a million times. I'm not in a position to show that to you now, probably wouldn't anyway. The flight number was 7C2216, and it had 175 passengers and 6 crew, and it flew from the capital of Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, Bangkok. Now, I'm not sure if it flew from Bangkok International Airport, BKK, or Don Mueang International Airport, which is DMK. I know I put in the headline BKK, but I don't know that. 2 people have been found alive. Rescue operations are still underway. So obviously fairly early on in this situation, as they try and ascertain who has survived and who has died. Now, the video quite clearly shows that the plane landed without its landing gear down. I could identify the aircraft as a 737, a Boeing 737-800. Not a particularly old aircraft. They were aircraft probably built during the 90s and the early 2000s. They were like the last series of Boeing 737s before they then switched to the MAX type of aircraft, which is the ones that's been causing Boeing all the problems with the MCAS software. But so this was another Boeing 737, but we don't know whether the make of the aircraft has necessarily anything to do with the failure of the landing gear to deploy. So they claim that something to do with a bird strike. Seems bird strikes are used to blame just about anything to do with aviation at the moment until there's more clarity. But whatever happened, the landing gear wasn't deployed, and it wasn't even partially deployed, and this plane belly landed at the Muan International Airport, coming in at speed. So it didn't even seem to have its flaps deployed, although it's hard to tell from the video, and it was landing at speed. Usually you put the flaps, they're the rear sections of the wing, which sort of slide down just before landing, which means that you can have extra lift whilst flying at a slower speed, so that you can land at a slower speed. So that's pretty much what we know at the moment. This plane, a discount airline, Jeju Air, flying from one of the 2 Bangkok airports. As I mentioned, I'd be very surprised if there weren't more Thais involved in this incident. And it is Christmas and New Year, a lot of Thais heading off for some New Year holidays. And yeah, with 175 passengers at the moment confirmed, only 2 Thai people on the plane. But I'm fearing that there will be more Thais involved, plus, of course, a lot of South Koreans as well. That's about all we know at the moment. Let's just see if there's anything here I can respond to in the comments section. Simas says in Kopangan, long-tail boat sink going to party from Hadrin. That's the main beach at Kopangan. Sounds like so Timo says sounds like hydraulic failure. So very sad. Any kind of frightening those for the fly that route. Damn, that's tragic. Thanks for the coverage, Tim. Hobson's Choice. Very sad to hear about the incident. Scott D says Chicago tuning in. So just to confirm, we've got a Jeju Airlines aeroplane. It's crashed as it belly landed at the airport at Muan International Airport in South Korea, not the main international airport at Incheon. And it flew, it took off from Bangkok. I'm suspecting it would have been the Don Mueang International Airport. I'll try and confirm that. The make of the plane was a Boeing 737-800. At capacity, these planes would only be able to carry around about 175 to 180 passengers, and it had 6 crew on board, the 2 flight crew and the 4 cabin attendants. So at the moment, we don't have any more numbers or updates. I'll just try and update this story to see if I can give you any more information. It's still confirming the 2 Thai nationals were among the 175 passengers. But again, if it's taking off from Bangkok, I really imagine that it would have a lot more Thais on it. But that may be the manifesto that they're reading from that lists the names of the passengers and their nationality. So a lot more information to come out on this one. As the day goes, if there's any other important information, I'll bring that to you. But thanks for tuning in on, the second plane crash of a passenger airline in the last couple of weeks. And we just note, but not trying to be political, that the president of Russia has all but admitted that it was a Russian explosive that caused basically the incapacitation of that plane that crashed in Kazakhstan. So if you're flying over the Christmas New Year season, all I can do is remind you that by far, by a long, long way, statistically, despite obviously the drama of these crashes, you're statistically a lot better up in the air than you are down here on the ground. So it's still the safest way to get around, despite these very dramatic incidents and the inevitable cameras that are capturing what happens when these planes crash these days. Okay, that's it for our very quick update on a Sunday morning. Have a good Sunday, and if there's anything more that I think you need to know on this, I'll do another live cross, but it is being well covered by international media. I'll just very quickly check if CNN's got anything at the moment. Yeah, they're saying at least 47 people killed in a plane crash in South Korea. So it's got updated information. All flights to South Korea's Muan airport have been cancelled following the Jeju airplane crash. South Korea's acting president has instructed all available resources to respond to the plane crash. And of course, the South Korean leadership is in complete crisis at the moment with an impeachment. At least 47 people are confirmed dead after the South Korean airliner landed at the Muan International Airport, South Korea, Sunday morning. The current number of survivors is 2. So it says only 2 people have survived the crash. And it also reports that 2 Thai nationals among the passengers on board the crashed airliner. It doesn't say whether they have been reported as deceased or not. And again, I can't find out exactly where it's taken off from. But basically, officials are saying it's a landing gear malfunction, and the video shows very clearly that the plane was landing without its landing gear deployed, trying to do a belly landing. And as I said, and it is pure speculation, it didn't appear that the flaps, which sort of slow the plane down, were deployed, and the plane was landing at speed. And of course, landing, even though you're landing on a runway, you've got no method of steering the plane once it has landed, and it veered off the runway and slammed into a concrete wall. 181 people in the crash. That's the 175 passengers and the 6 crew. So yeah, CNN doing a lot of updated coverage. And as I've always said, when it comes to international coverage, I know a lot of people get upset with CNN's domestic coverage, but its international coverage has always been very, very good. So thank you for joining in, and very, very sad news, and sympathy, of course, to the people who have got friends, relatives on that plane, obviously very concerned about their well-being at the moment. Thanks for dropping in, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for our regular TNT.